Honorable, welcome to this conversation.
Morning.
Now, holding our governors accountable, irrespective of their political affiliation or party. Now, it is Sonlu that has been under fire, and now we are adding Alex Oti. What's your take? As an obedient supporter, what's your take?
You said I'm an obedient supporter. No,
Or Peter B.
yes, I'm not an obedient one. I'm just a fan of good governance, good leadership in Nigeria, and I believe 100% that Obi has what it takes, based on his antecedents to drive Nigeria to Eldorado. But that notwithstanding, I love Obi so much. He has shown that he's a leader. I've looked at his policies. I've studied him. In fact, Obi is what Nigeria needs, not what we are having now. Of course, Nigerians know they voted for Peter Obi, and unfortunately, that mandate was stolen not by APC government but by the Nigerian judicial system. But that notwithstanding, that's not where I'm going to. What I want to say this morning is this: for very long time now, it's like there's no government in Lagos State. We've not been seeing projects being commissioned. We have not been seeing roads being rehabilitated. We have not been seeing new roads being opened or commissioned, or being awarded for some time. We didn't know that actually the man was busy recharging all the lanterns in his office.
Okay, 2 billion naira for rechargeable fan.
Close to 3 billion naira was spent, on trying to fix lights or put light on governor's office. So Olu has just disappointed. No, already people knows that. Look at that guy very well. It's a big disappointment for so many people. But I'm not surprised because the man that has held him to the floor is there in Abuja, and you know what I mean. The Jagaban himself, I think he's trying to carry on his tendencies, and we have seen Sanwo-Olu beginning to lag in terms of governance, and this scandal should not be taken lightly. That means a lot of things has actually gone wrong. There are so many loose ends in Sanwo-Olu's government as I'm talking to you. So many loose ends. The guy seems to not be aware or not having a thorough grip on the government of the Lagos State the way it is. I think Sanwo-Olu is becoming too loose, and it's affecting what Lagosians is expecting from him as I'm talking to you. To have spent over 3 billion on rechargeables, lighting,
80 million naira for chicken.
You understand? And all those kind of things. It's unfortunate. And this was something Peter Obi cannot relate to even while he was the governor of Adamawa.
We have a Labour Party governor that is also indicted for misappropriation of state funds. The only Labour Party governor.
Unfortunately, Alex Oti of Abia State has been very a little bit. I'm not saying he's an active governor because I've not seen truly, the transformational agenda of that man. But coming to hear this kind of development, it has put a very bad image on what Labour and P2P represent, and it is not funny. How can you be spending so much when Nigerians are suffering? A lot of Abians cannot even afford 3 square meals. That we have not seen thorough administration in Abia State the way it's supposed to be. We have not seen transformation. You understand? You are the one that went about and we said people should not be taxed. You didn't know that you have another plan. Alex Oti have another plan. How can you be spending so much money on feeding and meals for your girlfriends, for your cronies and all that? Alex Oti will be careful. If not, he will lose completely. He will lose the second term bid because this issue of how much spending so much money just to feed you in the office, why other Abians are going through hell, it's not a welcome development, and it has so far, it has gone viral. People, and it has caused a lot of damage on his personality.
This is a stain on Peter B also.
Peter Obi, at least when he was governor, there were proofs, that he was able to cut all these stupid expenses. A lot of governors are doing, just to show off. I don't know what they're showing off. When you are supposed to be caring for ordinary people in Abia State who cannot afford to look at the situation of the country and look at how much a governor is spending monthly. You understand? I believe that this man who is coming from the financial sector believed to be at least to an extent should know how to manage things. Look at him being, who are you going to trust? That means he's losing steam. Alex Oti is currently losing steam in the governance of Abia State. Because this issue of feeding has actually gone viral, and Abians and of course Nigerians at large, both Abians in the diaspora are not comfortable. I think
Do you agree that all politicians are the same?
with exception so far, because P2B has been exceptional. I'm not going to join P2B, to the Nigerian political factor, politicians and their behavior, the way they respond to it when it comes in terms of management of funds. You understand? I'm going to put P2B completely out of that, because I've seen the testimony is there, the legacy he left in during his administration as governor of Abia State is still there for everybody to go and check. You understand? I know when he came in, he stopped the killing of cow every day in Anambra government house. He said it's uncalled for. You understand? He was able to save up to 75 billion, in the Anambra government funds. You understand? And up to today, there were no corruption allegation against him. There were no traces of mismanagement of public fund of Anambra people till date. So I'm not going to join issues with people who say all politicians. At least I've seen one. That's why we didn't know that somebody like Nnamdi Kanu can be seen in the entire Biafran land until he came out and started leading by example, showing example that not every Igbo is corrupt. And you can see it, and that's why I'm saying that somebody like P2B, he has shown that he is competent, he's outstanding, he's corrupt free.
Corrupt free?
Yes.
He's a saint?
Yeah, and I'm not saying what I mean. I'm talking about in terms of governance. You understand the way it is. I'm not. I don't know about. I don't go into his private life or his business life. No, I'm talking about what he did. I'm taking it from that angle. Nobody is a saint. Everybody is a sinner. And sin has its own categories. You understand? It might be that Obi might have some certain things, morally that is not okay. You understand? But that is a personal thing for him. A lot of people criticize him for having not empowered his children. You understand? People see it as sin, but they didn't see it as sin. Those are moral values. But when you talk about what he did in Anambra State, Obi is incomparable.
Let's look at the appeal court verdict in Plateau, Kano, and also Zamfara. There may be a cause for revolution.
No, even if it's going to Nigerian revolution, it's not going to start from because of the political class is having issues over who win and who doesn't win. The revolution is going to come from the poor, and because we have lost the average class in the society, that we don't have any. There's nothing like average class in Nigeria again. What we have is the poor and the rich. So what is going to engineer the revolution is the people's movement for change. That is how it's going to start. So nobody is going to carry out any revolution based on what the useless. I don't know how the word I want to use. The Supreme Court has become, cash and carry. Like the article description suits them. If we are going to run a one-party system, like what is going on now, it looks like we are moving close to a situation where we will have only one party system, and that will be tyranny. That will be dictatorship, and it might encourage people, people's movement to vote, not the political. The political class are comfortable, they don't pass through what the ordinary citizens of Nigeria are going through, the masses are going through. You understand? Look at the governor, spending almost 3 billion or thereabout just to get the chargeable lamp to decorate his office. Look at Alex Oti spending over 300 million on feeding every month, feeding himself every month. I mean, these are the things, that when they begin to stockpile, and it get to the point that people can no longer take it, they will be the victims themselves. That's just the truth. The revolution are going to come. The masses are not going to fight themselves. You understand? It is going to come to a situation where the movement will continue to, determine what happened in every government.
There may be a setback when we talk about ethnic and tribal bigotry. The politicians might use the tool of ethnicity to make sure that there's no protest, as it were.
Yes, that is very true. Because I remember that when the South was engaged in what the NSAS, a lot of states in the North did not participate. That sentiment, tribalism, that sentiment is still there. But these things are getting to a point whereby everybody is becoming aware that Nigeria is not working. Look at what Obasanjo said. We need to sit down. Democracy is not working in Nigeria. Democracy encourages in Nigeria. Democracy encourages corruption, encourages election malpractice. Democracy has brought the judicial system in Nigeria to come out. It's almost dead. We don't know whether there's anything like judiciary that's supposed to be, a light, that will always empower anything that has to do with democracy in Nigeria. But unfortunately, the thing is dying, and Obasanjo have said it. A lot of people are becoming aware that the judiciary it's not a matter of who you favor. What we're talking about is justice, it's national consciousness. They should look at the national conscience. They will look at the national consciousness and be able to say, okay, this is the direction. At least Nigeria should advance. But they're not doing it. They pass judgment based on how much Tinubu gives them. If they pass judgment based on how much political parties are able to petrol, how much they are able to get from politicians. Is that what democracy is all about? It's unfortunate. And that's why Obasanjo is saying that this type of democracy is not working in Nigeria. You understand? So,
But he was being accused of the person that set the president.
as at that time, it has become worse now. At least there was signs, of the rule of law during Obasanjo's era. There was this belief of carrying everybody's along. The issue of federal character, competent people were being brought into the administration. We see a lot of things being done. During Obasanjo, where every ethnic group in Nigeria is being represented at the federal level, but it's no longer there since APC came in. Go and check, it's no longer there. When APC took over administration of this country, we started experiencing, backwardness till date. So, what are we talking about?
So what's the way forward?
I've said it that the way forward is not about where you come from. The way forward is not about who is the president. The way forward is not about who is voting who. The way forward is not about what do we do. The way forward is people's constitution. We need to have people-oriented constitution in Nigeria. Forget all these reforms here, there about here and there.
The Jonathan confirmed report.
Of course, that would have been a kind of a stepping stone. But unfortunately, some part of the country does not want that conflict to see the light of the day. And it is affecting, people are losing interest, both in judiciary. And if it continues like this, people will start taking laws into their arms because they know at the end of the day, they are not going to get justice.
Okay.
So, will you call such do we have a country or a nation governed by the rule of law? That definitely the institutions that are supposed to protect democracy in Nigeria has already been compromised. The legal system is compromised. The security system is compromised. The institution is not the problem, but the people in the institution is the problem. When are we going to start having competent people in these institutions that it has continued to destroy democracy in Africa, democracy in Nigeria, democracy almost everywhere? And that is why we saw the recent military coup in some part of the African countries. Because they are tired. Look at that, I'm talking to you now. There are speculations that Niger is the fastest growing economy in Africa now. Niger. Look at the CPM governor, Kaduso, what they call him. I don't know why we should be having this kind of people, you know, as in that kind of financial institution as the head of CPM governor. The man is simply not confused. He's simply confused. He doesn't know where to start. He doesn't know how to revive the economy. Look at all the Tinubu's economic team. But hopefully, you understand, we are looking at where a situation where Atiku should stop all this. We don't need Atiku to start telling us the judiciary they are stealing, they are corrupt, they are interested in cash, they are interested in just carry and go. What do we do? The likes of Atiku should sit down. We need a mass coalition, political party, coalition, collabo, massive one from the grassroots. That's what we need.
Okay. Thank you very much, everybody, for your contribution. God bless you. Thank you.